All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to part 3 of my 2023 DVD horror collection. Now, I portioned these videos out terribly. This is going to be by far the longest. I'm going to have to show probably double the movies that I did in part 1 and 2. And yeah, I screwed up. And alphabetically, I screwed up because there's movies that I just found that were on another shelf. So let's show off those first. It's going to be a very disorganized video. I can tell you that right now because there's a ton of movies I need to show off. All right, let's start off numerically here. 100 Tears. And by the way, I'm through fighting the dashboard noise. It is what it is. It's driving me nuts, but I don't know what to tell you guys. So we have Killer Clown film right here. I don't think I've ever seen a movie where I was like, there's too many murders in the friggin' film. Like, there must be like 100 deaths in this film. From start to finish, it's like nothing but killings. Now, the clown has this huge butcher knife, which is badass. It's like the size of an axe. And, yeah, man, lots of great practical effects and gore in this one. The killings get a little bit redundant, and they're very similar deaths, too, as well. All right, now, Burning Bright. I don't know if that's the greatest name for a tiger horror film, but yeah, this was a pretty good one. And I think the story was the mother dies, the stepdad wants all of the money, so the daughter and her younger brother, which I think has he's on the spectrum, let's just put it to you that way, mentally, and so she's trying to take care of him. And the stepfather wants all of the money, so during a hurricane, somehow he's able to purchase a tiger and release a tiger into their home. And the film's about them trying to survive this tiger home invasion. Pretty badass. Next up here we have this is a pretty hilarious film, Cat Sick Blues. And by the way, the first film that I showed you, oh no, I'm sorry, this is the first of the Wild Eye releases I'm about to show off. This is a pretty, it's got some pretty graphic stuff in it, man. Not to mention the guy's like jacking off to Gibbles and Bits commercials and shit. I don't know what, this dude is sick and twisted and demented. He's got this obsession about cats, and I'm not going to go into the whole story, but yeah, man, some pretty graphic murders in this one, and just a twisted plot. Good shit, though. I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed it. All right, next up we have Chocolate Strawberry Vanilla. This is another Wild Eye release here. And this guy right here does a really good job. I think his name in the movie is Warren. But his real name is, if I can find it here, Glenn Maynard. Really good acting performance in this. Basically portrays a loner ice cream guy who lives in kind of this fantasy world. And yeah, he's pushed to the edge and breaks finally. And does some pretty effed up stuff. And then we have a Ryan Nicholson film. Rest in peace to him. He's the one that did Gutterballs. This is pretty good, man. Famine. I've checked this out probably, I don't know, about 6 months ago. And this is basically a high school horror film. Even though, like, everyone in the high school must be, like, between the age of 20 and 30. It seems like the actors were, like, poorly picked. And, yeah, a mascot is going around killing everybody. Kind of a whodunit. Next up is The Forest of Lost Souls. I have not seen this yet. Apparently there's some place in, I don't know, Japan, China, I don't know. I have no, you know, but people go to this forest to commit suicide. I think Logan Paul got in trouble because he went over there and kind of made fun of it and stuff, like an idiot. All right, next up here, we have some pretty extreme stuff right here. And, yeah, home invasion. Basically, these guys are, you know, racist, a group of racist guys who, you know, commit a hate crime. This is a home invasion film where they go into this Jewish family's home, and they basically take the Jewish families, I think it's around like Christmas time, and the Jewish family's recording everything. So they home invade the film in the beginning of the film. They take their camera and they record them torturing and killing this Jewish family. Pretty extreme stuff. Guys are like sniffing like huge lines of meth, getting all pumped up and trying to amp each other up to do more crazy shit to these people. And this doesn't give an F, man. They kill a young kid at the very beginning, put a gun to his face and basically blow his head off. All right, let me see. What else did I miss as far as movies alphabetically? No, that can stay. That can stay. Do we do the ends yet? Yeah, I think we did the ends in the last video. We have Night of the Sharks. I thought I was going to hate this, man. I'm not going to lie. This is actually pretty funny. I thought it was decent. And they had some good shark action in here. Surprisingly enough, the shark action was pretty good in this film. Treat Williams and yeah, it's basically like a treasure film. I'm not gonna explain it, but his brother, I think, robs somebody and then his plane goes down. And all right, getting out of alphabetical order again. Pick these up, these little, I guess you'd call these, they put these out before the movies. What's the name of those? They put these out before the movies come out to hype you up about them. They're like promos, I guess. Oh, screeners. That's what they're called, screeners. We have Dark Harvest 2, The Maze. Not a very good film. I think the first Dark Harvest was actually pretty hilarious, though. Scarecrow horror. But I forgot to show this one off in the last video, part 2, Poltergeist. Everybody knows about that. All right, now I think we can get into the alphabetical. Back on track here. Put those back there. Got a little sippy sip here. Got to bring the energy, guys. Got a lot of movies to show off. All right. Now, where are we at? I don't even know. I guess R's. Does that make sense? Yeah, we ended on the P's. I don't think I have any Q movies, so we go to R's. All right, there's the R's. Okay, we're on track here. Let's start off with the Rat films. I just recently talked about the Rat films in one of my recent pickups videos, so I won't go too much into these. The Rats. Although this one does have, this has an epic rat scene at the end of the movie in a pool that's worth every penny I paid for this. Next up, we have Rats, Night of Terror, Italian rat exploitation. Then we have Hide the Cheese, because rodents are coming. Amazing cannibal film right here, guys, with Guy Pearce. Ravenous. If you have not checked this one out, you need to see it right away. The PMM said so. All right, now, this is probably out of order. I probably have, oh no, because this is, now you know what? This should have been under C's, I think. Or should this been, I don't know. It's called The Rage, but I guess it's carried to The Rage. So I screwed up again. This wasn't too bad, man. Carrey's got some decent films in the franchise. I think I enjoyed all of them, to be honest with you. Next up, we have a Shudder original right here, The Room. I've only watched like 20 minutes of this. It's an interesting premise, though. They find this room in the new house, like a hidden room. And there's something inside the room you can wish. You can say a wish, and your wish will come true no matter what you say. If you want $1 million will appear the next day, or something like that. But be careful what you wish for, guys. Be very careful. Next up, we have Rabid. I think this is a remake. And this is actually a pretty decent remake. Yeah, this is a remake of the 1977 David Cronenberg movie. Body horror. Good body horror stuff. Check it out. Okay. And then we have, also picked this up on that Godzilla lot at Goodwill. We have Rebirth of Mothra and Rebirth of Mothra 2. Because you know when Mothra is reborn, you need 2 to explain it all, right? All right, now, just getting into some more R's. The R's are pretty strong, man. We got some good shit. The Return of the Living Dead. Classic. I ain't gotta say shit about that movie. Raging Sharks. The funniest thing about this movie, I think this is the one where the sharks actually roar when they are attacking. They make a roaring sound. It's hilarious. I remember this having some great atmosphere in it. Relic. Actually, some cool stuff. 2020 Scream Factory IFC Midnight release. It's a haunted house film. Next up, we have The Rental. Lou Diamond Phillips and Christy Swanson, and not to forget Coolio is in this. Red Water. Good shark film, man. Yeah, good shit. Don't mind that one at all. Here's a movie that flies under a lot of people's radar right here. Red, White, and Blue. 3 lives bound together in blood. As I spit across the car. IFC Midnight release right here. And let me try to remember the premise in this. So there's kind of this guy, he's kind of a loner type of guy. He lives in an apartment. This hot chick moves into the apartment building where he's at. And she's kind of rude to him and stuff. You don't know the backstory about this guy, but apparently he used to be in the military, and he was they used him for like all the like really hardcore shit. Like he would torture, if they would catch someone from, you know, in the war, he would torture them to get information from them. And so he's a really bad dude, but he only did that, you know, because it was, you know, his duty under the red, white, and blue, right? Now, in this film, that girl ends up getting raped and ends up getting killed. and it's you know, a group of people are responsible for it, and you know, he ends up falling in love with her, and you don't even know, like, they end up getting married, and they have to go. I'm probably spoiling this too much, but anyway, it's about him getting revenge, and man, this is another one of those movies that could give two fucks about kids, man. This gets pretty intense. I highly recommend this one, man. The PWM is giving this a high recommend. You got to check this one out, guys. As I speak to myself, or speak in the first person, the third person, first person, third person. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, next up here. Oh, I'm getting out of sorts here. All right, sorry about the cut there, guys. My phone ran out of memory. Just when I started to gain some momentum, I was rolling through these movies. I screwed up. I forgot to delete the trash early off my phone. All right, we're making good time still. All right, a couple more R films, and we'll move on to the S's. Sure, I'm going to screw this up. Rest Stop the Collection. Got the 2 Rest Stop movies here. I'm a fan. Really cool Lloyd Kaufman trauma team stuff here. Return to Nukem High. Love the green Xbox original case. Or did I put that? Did I actually? Am I the one that did that? I can't remember. I might have did that to make it look cool. I'm not sure if it comes like that or not. Next up, we have the classic Rosemary's Baby. And I think that's it for the R's. We got a ton of S's to go right now, guys. So this is Unearthed Films right here. It's a pretty good, you know, like possession type of movie, exorcist type of movie. The Song of Solomon. Not bad at all. Some gory shit in that film. And we have Sorority Row. Good shit. I'm a fan of it. The guy has a pretty cool weapon. You can see it right there. It's got like, he's got 4 different options. It has like knives on it and different, it's almost like a tire iron that has the different sizes on it. That's what it looks like, but it has like blades on it. Pretty cool shit. Next up here we have, this is another Wild Eye release, Stomach. Pretty good, not bad. And another Roger Corman film here, Sharktopus. I'm saying that wrong, ain't I? Sharktopus. Octopus. Sharktopus. There you go. Sharktopus, guys, not Sharktopus. Oh my God. What is wrong with me? I'm losing it, and I'm only at the S's. You know, it's not even about getting to the Z's, guys. I have so many DVDs that have multiple movies on it. It's like, it's way more than these movies. Trust me. We got a lot, man. We're going to be here a while. All right, we got Bill Goldberg in Santa's Sleigh. This is hilarious, man. Really good Christmas horror stuff right here, guys. This is not a bad film right here. It's a low-budget film. Probably no one has seen, but pretty decent stuff, man. If I remember correctly, this is, yeah, this is like a home invasion film. Salvage. Definitely check that one out. I have never seen this one, but I've heard decent stuff about it. Repo the Genetic Opera. I would say I hate all movies where people sing, but I mean, to be honest with you, I've become a really big fan of, what is it called? We're going to go over it in a little bit here. It's, here it is right here. Slumber Party Massacre Part 2. Rockabilly, where the guy's singing, acting like he's Elvis and stuff. All right, next up here we have The Shed. It's a vampire film, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, vampire trying to escape the sun, and probably someone trying to kill him, goes into a shed, and this kid that's bullied at school decides to use the vampire to his advantage. If that makes any sense. All right, next up here we have, I'm not seeing the original. I'm pretty sure I own the original. We'll just go to the second one here because I have it in my hand. The Strangers Pray at Night. 2018 release here, directed by Johannes Roberts, who directed 47 Meters Down, the new Resident Evil movie. Well, it's not new now, but the newest Resident Evil movie. This is basically Strangers meets 8 Mile. It's like a trailer park Strangers film. Eminem's not in it. No, sorry. All right, Slumber Party Massacre 3. Love my Tool horror films, Power Tool horror. This is another one you have to question. He's got like so in this film he's using this is basically like an auger, which is like a giant drill. I'm pretty sure they don't make battery powered augers, so he must be using an extension cord as well. I always find so funny if you're using if you're going on a rampage killing people with power tools that are plugged into an outlet. That is just so funny. All right, next up we have Silent Hill. Yes, I still have the good old sticker on there for some damn reason. Oh yeah, this is a good one right here. Would this be considered horror? I'm not sure. Why am I having problems? I know I pronounced this 1,000 times. Syngenor. I think it's called Syngenor. It's a synthetic or synthesized genetic organism. Syngenor. This is starring David Gale from Reanimator. And yeah, man, this is a pretty good film. I enjoyed it. I actually heard that there's a part 2 to this that I need to track down. And yeah, that's basically what it is. What is it? Is this a cyborg film? He's a super soldier basically, and he goes on a rampage, starts killing people. A prototype creature has gotten loose and has began a bloody killing spree. Yeah, I remember really enjoying that one, man. Definitely seek that one out. Sleepy Hollow. Oh yes, Death to Snowboarders. This is right up my alley. Really enjoyed this one, guys. Definitely check this one out. Shredder. There's some epic scenes in this one, man. Some hilarious stuff, too. The dialogue in this is amazing. I think there's a wood chipper murder in this. In the finale that's hilarious. And, yeah. There's a guy running around in a, snowboarding outfit like that, right? With an axe killing people at a ski resort. It's great, man. The slopes are killer. Absolutely adore this film. All right, next up here we have the Saw trilogy and the Slippy Dip. First three Saw films. This has Frankie Muniz in it. Stay Alive. It's basically like a video game horror film. Definitely would put that in that genre, a video game horror. Not that bad. Pretty decent. They basically all have to play this video game, but the video game comes to life, and kind of reminds me of like some PS2 with survival horror games. All right, next up here we have Rob Lowe in Stir of Echoes 2, The Homecoming. Not really that good. This is a made-for-television movie, but this does have one of the most jaw-dropping suicide scenes I've ever seen. Really took me by surprise, man. Shocked the hell out of me. This has Gulf War rap songs in it. I wrote that on the notes. I don't know. But yeah, Rob Lowe was in the Gulf War, and he comes back with a lot more than he wanted in his head. All right, cool flick right here, man. Dee Snider's Strangeland, where Dee Snider is this serial killer who loves to pierce and torture people, and basically on a technicality gets let out of jail or prison and comes back all dressed in a sweater, looking like this nerd, and apologizing to the press and trying to act like he's a born-again Christian, and he murdered basically this, I can't remember the story, but he basically goes after the same family that ended up, the reason why he got locked up, and goes after them and tries to kill them. And this is basically a, dark web, or, where kids are searching on the web, and that's how he meets people on the web and on the internet, searching for, girlfriends or boyfriends or whatnot. And he basically, they meet up and rendezvous. Why am I even using that word at all? They meet up someplace and he kills them. I'm trying to say, I don't know what the hell I'm saying anymore. This is one of the worst films of all time, but for that, I actually like it. Skeleton Man. All right, SOS, Summer of Sam. I think it's a Spike Lee film talking about the real serial killer, Son of Sam. Next up, we have something I've never seen, Stephen King's The Stand. I already need a break from this. There's too many movies. Rendezvous. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, let's go ahead and rendezvous at the park. Rendezvous. Who uses that word? All right, next up we have, I'm going to assume this is Sharknado 5, since the first letter is a 5. I don't know how I feel about the Sharknado films. They're probably just too ridiculous. All right, next up here we have Silent Night. I guess this would be the reboot of the franchise. Christmas horror. I guess I got a dupe of Silent Hill. Next up we have Shrooms. I don't know what happens in this film. I know they take a bunch of mushrooms and stuff, and they start seeing all kinds of crazy shit, and then a killer pops up and is trying to kill everybody. But they're so high on shrooms, they don't know what to believe. It's pretty hilarious. Stranger Things 2. I don't consider, this is definitely, I don't consider this horror, but I'm glad that this is in here because this is one of those movies of all the movies that I've showed off in the 2 years that I've been doing this. This is one of those movies that I never hear anyone talk about. And one of my highest recommendations, as long as you can deal with subtitles, Storm. And this reminds me of The Matrix, but it's so much better. I don't know if it's better, but it is a really cool film. This is a movie that I was thinking about last night. I was like, man, I need to do a second watch on this one. So I'll be checking this one out soon. Maybe we'll talk about it again in a recent video, in one of my next up-and-coming videos, if I can talk. Not a horror film, though, guys. Put that up there. All right, I think that's it for the S's. Now, oh boy. See if we can do this like this. Then we got to throw them in the box when we're done. All right, White Dog. Good shit, man. Watched this recently. And I actually own a German Shepherd. This is a white German Shepherd that's trained to kill black people. And, you know, this is a film about racism and it's a Samuel Fuller film. It's got Christy McNichols in it. She's beautiful. Paul Winfield's a good actor as well. And Paul Winfield's character is a black guy who tries to train this dog. She basically hits this dog with her car at the beginning of the movie. It escaped from somewhere, and she starts taking care of it, and then realizes the dog's batshit crazy. Anytime it's around black people, it wants to kill black people. And Paul Winfield's a black guy, like I said. He's an animal trainer. He tries to train the dog and change the dog, and ultimately realizes you can't change a dog. Ultimately, this film's about, you know, dogs are not racist. People are racist, and it's got a kind of a, you know, it's a cool film, man. I would say check that one out. I highly recommend it. All right, so I probably just went out of turn, didn't I? Yep, W, X, Y, Z, T, U, V. S's, we did what? The S's, and I need to do T's. Why am I doing W's already? See, I'm already screwing up. All right, I got all these on top. I knew I was going to F up. Hold on a second. What is going on? I got no room in this car for all these damn movies. All right, we'll put those over there. Put those over there. All right, S's are done. It's time for T's. Oh, yeah, man. Some cool shit right here, man. So, I just got Maximum Overdrive on Blu-ray, which is, I think, Stephen King's only movie that he directed. This is basically about the same, this is basically the same story. It's based on the Stephen King book as well. And this movie gets a lot of hate, but I'm a big fan of this film, and I think it's really good. And, yeah, man, check it out. Maximum Overdrive, I'll put it right up there with Maximum Overdrive. I think it's just as good. It's hilarious, too, man. It's got some good, funny shit that happens in this film. Oh, yeah, man. So I talked about this a lot. Try to recommend this to people, man. Really good shit right here. Abduction horror, where this beautiful lady is abducted in a parking garage, thrown in a trunk, and a serial killer has like all this audio set up where he can talk from the front of the car through a microphone, and they have these conversations, this dialogue back and forth. It's kind of a cat and mouse game. She's trying to get out of the trunk, and she's really smart. And she's trying all these different ways to kind of like, hit on him and try to trick him into letting her out of the trunk. And some of his dialogue is like so hilarious, really funny. This is a really like underrated film. I enjoy it, man. He's a serial killer, and yeah, good shit. I thought her performance was actually one of the better female performances in a horror film in a long time. Can't remember her name. She didn't go on to do too much more. She's done a few films I need to seek out. I need a sip here. So there's so much funny dialogue in this, man. I'm not explaining it. I talked a lot about this in my my videos. There's one scene, she's like, I'm gonna piss my pants. And he's like, oh, I would love it if you pissed your panties. I would take your panties off and sniff them. There's all kinds of like hilarious dialogue. He's a total sicko. We have Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It took me a long time to watch this. I don't really like comedy in my horror, but this is really well done. Great concept, man. Good shit. Check it out. All right, let's get into we have the OG Texas Chain. Oh, actually, this is not the OG. This is the Jessica Biel, Michael Bay remake. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I guess let's go over the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies here. I have quite a few, as you can imagine. We got in the steel case here, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the OG. I think that's Dark Skies release. Then we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think that's the Jessica Biel one again. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Too much comedy in that one for me. I like it, I just didn't like all the comedy in it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning. Good shit. Another variation of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning. And then for some reason I have 3. I think one of them doesn't play, like it skips. And then we have, I think this is like the second to last Texas Chainsaw Massacre release. Not one of my favorites, but still enjoyable. This one has the beautiful, oh, I'll never read her name on this print. The girl in this film is just adorable. She's a smoke show. All right, I did those films already, so I can throw that in there. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah, that does make sense. All right, teas, where are we at here? Oh, we got a bunch more teas. All right, next up here we have Roach Horror, They Nest. Good shit. Tremors 2. Good shit. These are W's, so I can go there. That's a V, T-U-W-V. Let me see. John Carpenter's They Live. It's one of my favorite films of all time. I love that film. Tigers Are Not Afraid. Would that be considered horror? Yeah, I guess it would be. Oh, more classic stuff right here. 20th anniversary special edition of Tourist Trap. The beautiful Tanya Roberts is in this, and if y'all don't know who that is, she was in Beastmaster, A View to a Kill, and also in Charlie's Angels, that 70s series. Very good film right there. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, and Bordello of Blood. Good shit right here. One of them, I think, has Dennis Miller in it. And it also has our boy, let me see, Billy Zane. Oh, forgot to show you guys this one. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. For some reason, Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger have disowned this film, which is so stupid. Stop taking yourself so seriously. Actually, it's so bad, it's good. Next up, we have Trespassers. 2018 IFC midnight release. This has like a cameo appearance by the girl from The Craft. The girl that turns evil. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. Oh, Fairuza Balk is in this. Trailer Park Shark. Those over there. They Call Me G. It's like a superhero, yeah, it's like a superhero film. Not bad. It's a pretty good movie. It's an Italian superhero film. Next up, we have Teeth. Yep, young lady has a vagina full of teeth. How could you not want to watch this? Next up is Troll Hunter. I've never seen this. I think this has I think this is a foreign release. You have to read subtitles on this one. It says a monster thrill ride with rollicking action reminiscent of Jurassic Park. Enormously entertaining. Troll Hunter. All right, so I think that's it. Now we have the U's. Am I doing that right? I think those are all W's. The OG Urban Legend. She's definitely the best part of the film. I can't remember her name. So over the top. And the last act of the film is so good. Jared Leto's in this as well. I forgot about her. Or I forgot about him. All right, this is, I believe this is a horror film from Iran. Under the Shadow. Definitely remember liking this one. They're in like this, there's a, it's almost like a jinn, like a demon. I think in that part of the country it's called a jinn. And they're in the middle of a war and these people are just trying to live their day-to-day lives in this, little apartment complex. And a missile hits the top of the building that they live in, where you can see like half of the missile coming through the roof. And apparently this jinn was riding on this missile. So now this apartment complex is haunted by the spirit of this evil jinn. And yeah, man, good stuff. All right, so now V's and W's. Put that right here. I'm telling you, this is a lot to juggle, guys. Where are we at? 29 minutes. All right, good shit right here. Joe Begos film. This has got so many like great old school actors in it. Fred Williamson, Martin Kove, William Sadler, Stephen Lang. Really good shit, man. This is basically like bar horror where I think someone steals like drugs, and it's almost like a post-apocalyptic world, like with no rule. And this gang, she actually runs into this bar where all these old school buddies are in there. They're VFW. Obviously, they used to be military guys. They all were in the war together, and you know, they don't know at first like that she has all this dope, and this gang leader sends all these gang members into the bar to try to kill them. So they barricade themselves in the bar, and they have all this weaponry there at the bar, like in the basement of the bar. And yeah, man, good shit. Definitely highly recommend that one. John Carpenter's Vampires, 1998 film starring James Woods. Thomas Ian Griffin, I think that's the vampire in it. The vampire in this is actually pretty good. Cool vampire. All right, is that it for the V's? I think that's it for the V's. If not, we'll have to go back. Rat horror, guys. I'm a big fan of it. We have Willard. This is the remake, and Crispin Glover's at his finest, and R. Lee Ermey from Full Metal Jacket is in this, being an asshole as usual. Love it. Can't get enough of it. Next up, we have The Wicker Man. The OG Wicker Man, minus crazy ass, what's the guy's name in the remake, where he's in the beast suit. Ah, the bees are trying to kill me, or whatever he's saying. Y'all know who I'm talking about. All right, put that in there. Let's get to the W's. Oh no, I'm sorry. TUV. I missed one U film. We have rest in peace Albert Pyun, one of his worst movies that he's ever made, Urban Menace, where Snoop Dogg is like some kind of demon, and everybody in the film, Big Pun has to be the worst actor of all time, not to be beaten out too much by Fat Joe, who's the second worst actor of all time. And no one is on the screen at the same time. They're all in front of green screens in different states filming this, because no one is ever sharing the actual screen. You can tell it's all just shit they recorded behind a green screen. It is really bad, but actually it's pretty funny. Urban Menace. And Ice-T is not in this at all. Like, forget about it. I don't know if he like talks, and he might like talk over something, but I don't think he's in the film at all. All right, What Lies Beneath. I'm so not in alphabetical order anymore. I'm just tired of it. Yeah, I gotta go back to the V's. Very hilarious film right here, The Velocipasture. I always talk about I don't like too much horror or comedy in my horror. Well, I throw out that reasoning right now with this one, because I actually thought this was a really funny film. It actually has some touching moments and some good, like, really good songs in it as well. Funny shit, man. Yeah, very funny. All right, couple more V's. Let me get the V's and then we'll go to the W's. Now I got a T over here as well. I'm just totally screwing this up. Let's go back to the T's real quick here. We have one of the best, like, ghost stories I've ever seen. Like, literally. For a post-2000 movie, this has got to be the best ghost, ghost haunted house, like, type of story. Terrifier. This shit is actually scary. This is like a really badass film. You see my notes over here. Yeah, this is probably the best Shudder original. If you get a little scared, something, I can't even read it. It says, I do not recommend you watching this alone. This is the real deal. This is Spanish horror at its best. At its core, it's a ghost story. Yeah, man. This is a high recommend from PWM. Check it out. All right, a ghetto vampire film, Vampires. This is so hilarious. 2004 hood vampire flick. IMDb just got a 1.9. It's very difficult to get in the ones on IMDb, but this somehow accomplished that. But actually, this is pretty funny, man. I thought it was pretty decent. Got some good enjoyment out of this. This is like a screener. Yeah, this is another screener. Good, hilarious shit right there. All right, speaking of bad films, we have Vulgar. This is a Kevin Smith and View Askew film. I guess you'd consider this killer clown film. It's pretty bad. It's kind of funny at the same time. Speaking of bad, now I got into this franchise. I picked this up at a resale shop next to my next to where I live at. The first one is actually pretty good, man. I enjoyed Witch House, man. I thought the dialogue was great in it. Lots of cool stuff happens in the film, man. Very good shit. If you like witch films, this is a quintessential witch horror. Definitely pick this one up. And Witch House 2, The Blood Coven, not as good as the first one for sure. But Witch House, I think this is the third. Demon Fire. This one made me laugh. Lots of hilarious shit happens in this one as well. I'm a fan of the Witch House films. What can I say? All right, speaking of witch films, one of my favorite movies of all time, The Witch. Just a stunning, amazing, incredible film. This is about as low budget as you can possibly get. You literally, I think you see like one witch in the movie. Just a quick like glimpse of a witch. Everything else is done, I mean, I don't want to spoil it or anything, but this is about as low budget as you can possibly get for a film. And it still does a decent job. I think it's pretty good. Zero practical effect, zero special effects, I should say. Zero practical effects as well. It's all like in the mind type of stuff happening. This is a Walmart pickup. Home invasion film, Wired Shut. I think this is a $1.25 Bush pickup. Witches in the Woods. Not too bad. What is this right here? Oh, that's Storm. Need to keep that up there. My dog's name is Storm too. What a coincidence. Alright, we're doing stuff out of turn. I might as well do this one. Wishmaster 1 and 2. I'm a fan for sure. Alright, W's and 1Y and 1Z, and then we'll get to all the compilations. I don't think this would be horror, to be honest with you. This is definitely not horror. The Woodsman with Kevin Bacon. I don't think that's horror. I'll take that out of there. Oh, we have The Woman. Wrong Turn 3-pack. Yes, inbred redneck psychopaths. If you love them, you got to watch all the Wrong Turn films. And we have Wrong Turn 1 and 2. OG Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn 2. Dead End. I'm a big fan of this one. Very good sequel. It's got our boy from Black Flag in it. What is his name? I'm going to forget his name. Oh, Henry Rollins. Yeah, Henry Rollins is in it. He's amazing in it. All right, we have Wrong Turn 1 through 6. Wrong Turn 5, Bloodlines. One of these has the guy from, yeah, it's this one. The guy from Hellraiser, Pinhead, is in this one right here. And I'm forgetting his name. Oh well, all you need to know is it's Pinhead. And then we have Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings. In the slip. Next up, a film I've never seen before, Yummy. Definitely not a vegetarian film. And then we have Z, which is also, I think, a Shudder release. All right, I'm going to pause real quick, pop the trunk, and get all the other movies out the trunk. All right, let's run through all these right now. Oh, no, you know what? I screwed up again. I got some screeners to show you guys before. I don't know how these ended up in this box. Again, out of alphabetical order. You want some more ghetto horror? Here you go. Cutthroat Alley with Mac 10 and Busy Bone. I think Busy Bone and Mac 10 die like in the first 10 minutes of the movie. It's pretty effing hilarious. I got some good laughs out of that, man. Another screener here. And next up we have Sick, Serial Insane Clown Killer. I don't even remember this one, to be honest with you. Probably was terrible. All right. Now, moving on to the, now this was a series on Showtime called Masters of Horror, where all these badass horror directors made like these, I don't know, 30 to 45 minute films, you know, short films, and we're going to go through all of them. This is Clive Barker's Hackle's Tale. And we have Stuart Gordon's Dreams in the Witch House. I remember enjoying that one. Tom Holland, who was the director of Child's Play and Fright Night. We All Scream for Ice Cream. I don't know if I've seen that one. This is a really good one right here. It's got Corbin Burnson in it. And this is a Rob Schmidt's Right to Die. Rob Schmidt, by the way, directed The Wrong Turn, at least the first Wrong Turn movie. Corbin Bernstein's a sleazy-ass lawyer in this film. Really good job. All right, this is a really good one from the director of Suspiria and Opera. And that's Jennifer. Argento film right there. Next up, we have John Carpenter's Cigarette Burns. Another classic. Lots of really good practical effects in that one, I remember. Next up, we have Dario Argento's Pelts. I really enjoy this one. It has John Saxon and Meatloaf in it. Believe it or not, this movie's about supernatural raccoon pelts. Yes, I cannot make this shit up. We have Joe Dante, who directed The Howling and Gremlins in Homecoming. Oh, I got another copy of Jennifer. Somebody needs that. Next up, we have one of my favorite ones from the director of Audition and Ichi the Killer, which is Takashi Miike, right? Yeah, Takashi Miike. And that is Imprint. Yeah, this has got some pretty extreme stuff going on in it. Extreme, like, torture. Definitely check that one out. I got another copy of Pelts. And this is another good one, man. Larry Cohen. Yeah, this is a Larry Cohen one called Pick Me Up. And this is based on the short story by David Shaw, who also wrote the screenplay for The Crow, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. And basically, to make a long story short, two serial killers end up meeting up. And then they kind of play a cat and mouse game with each other. All right, put those in there. I forgot I had to show these off. It's going to take. Next up here we have Brad Anderson, who directed The Machinist and Session 9, film called Sounds Like. And we have a John Landis film called Family, starring George Wendt from Cheers. What else was he in? The House, right? Or House. All right, from the director of Reanimator and From Beyond, Stuart Gordon's Dreams. Oh, we already talked about that one. I got 2 copies of that as well. Everybody just started sending me these and not even asking what I had, so that's why I have so many of them. Next up, we have John Landis, who directed American Werewolf in London, Dear Women, or Dear Woman. Mick Garris, who directed The Shining and The Stand, Chocolate. Then we have a double header here, Chocolate, and Adon Coscarelli, who directed Phantasm, Incident on a Mountain Road, or Off a Mountain Road, which I thought was really good. And then we have another copy of Pick Me Up. All right, that's it for the Masters of Horror collection. It's not a complete collection. I do need more. Now let's get into these multi-carts here. It's going to take forever. I think what I'll do is throw those in the back. Oh my God, my car is a mess with DVDs. Let's put that right there so we can kind of organize this a little bit. Where am I at? 4. We're making good time though. Alright, ran out of space again on my phone. I only got 30 minutes left. I've deleted like as much as I can delete, so I need to hurry through this. Another alphabetical mistake on my part. Doll Man. Really fun movie. 1991, starring Tim Thomerson. And yeah, directed by Albert Pyun. Written by Charles Band. classic stuff. All right, I think that's it. Now we can get into the multi-DVDs. All right, this one has Borderland in it. I remember liking that one. Unearthed, Dark Ride, and The Grave Dancers. I've not seen the other three. Very cool horror collection pack here, guys. It's got 2 of the Bloody Murder films in it. And it also has Carnivore and Creepy Crawlers, Deadly Species Junior. I know nothing about the other films. Bloody Murder films are great, and Carnivore is hilarious. Definitely check that one out. Next up here we have 8 movies. The Midnight Horror Collection. The Devils, Ritual, Venom, Bleeding Rose, Netherworld, which I think is I think that's Charles Band. That's decent stuff right there. And then we have Killjoy 2, which is pretty hilarious. And holy shit, this has Witchcraft. Oh no, I'm thinking of Witch House. Witchcraft, I think it says 12. Who knows? It's got to be trash. Next up, we have a double feature, The Terror and Dracula, The Satanic Rites. 6-movie DVD set, Horror Unleashed. It's a pretty cool pickup. I got this at $1.25 Bush, Dollar Tree. It's got Train to Busan in it, Dead Snow 2, The Wailing, The House That Never Dies Afraid, and Haunted Asylum. But The Wailing and Train to Busan are really good films. Nice seeing it at $1.25 Bush. This is a Miramax 9 film collection. Cool collection here. It's got Children of the Corn 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I believe 7. And then it's got Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers, H2O, and Resurrection. This is how I watch like all the Children of the Corn films on this multi. Oh shit, I got 2 of those. Is that right? Yeah. Pretty badass. Alright, we need to move here. A vampire movie I still have not seen. Queen of the Damned. We have Gothica, Dreamcatcher, and Ghost Ship. Aliens and Predator, everybody knows that. Monster movie mashups, another $1.25 Bush pickup. I'm not going to go over all the movies in that one. It's got a lot of the classic horror films in it. Snow Beast, Nightmare Castle, Night of the Living Dead. Highway to Hell collection. Nothing on there I've really heard about. You can freeze it if you want. Screenshot it. Tremors Attack Pack. This has the first 4 Tremors films in it. We have factory sealed copy of Night Gallery. It's a little bit before my time. I don't even remember this. I think, what? Did this come after the original Twilight Zone or before it? I don't even know. I need to put that up there. Something I'd probably flip. I wouldn't even keep. I don't know why I haven't sold it yet. All right, next up we have Dawn of the Dead and Land of the Dead. Prisoners and Zodiac. Big fan of the acting performance by Hugh Jackman in Prisoners. And one of my favorite serial killer films for sure is Zodiac. This is a badass 4-movie midnight marathon pack. It's got Psycho 2, 3, 4, and Bates Motel. I love all of those except for Bates Motel, I believe. You know what? I shouldn't say that. I don't even think I've seen Bates Motel, but I've heard bad things about it. Next up, we have Roger Corman's Drive-In Collection. Beast from Haunted Cave, The Wild Ride, The Fast and the Furious, T-Bird Gang, High School Big Shot. That was $1.25 bush pickup. Haunted 8 Hollows films. We have... Only thing in here I recognize is The Darkness and Children of the Corn 666. Those are all the films. All right, we need to really move here. Real sleazy 3-pack here, but I did get some enjoyment out of these. We have this is oh my god, why can't I read his name? Oh no, I'm sorry, I was thinking it was somebody else. But we have Zodiac Killer, Black Dahlia, and Green River Killer. The Hills Have Eyes, 1 and 2. I think these are both, yeah, these are the remakes. Backwood Butchers, Breadcrumbs, Mother's Day Massacre, Butcherer, and A Bothered Conscience. Next up, we have Live Animals, Roman, Wages of Sin, and we've already talked about Skeleton Man. Night of the Living Dead, Hindsight, Razor Eaters, and Cruel World. And this is a very cool horror collection right here, guys. Chopping Mall, Chud 2, Ghoulies 3, 976 Evil 2, Waxwork, The Unholy, Slaughter High, and yeah, I think that was it. Very badass 8-pack right there. Next up, we have another 8-movie pack. Nothing in this I really... It's got Mortuary in it. That's the only thing I recognize. Which is a Tobe Hooper film. Alright, we need to hurry. Another cool pack right here. Wolfen, Body Snatchers, Bad Moon, and Coma. I don't know why. I got a cramp in my wrist there. Next up, we have Prophecy, The Crow, Wicked Prayer, which I think was the second Crow film. The Nameless and Ritual. My Bloody Valentine and April Fool's Day. Berlin Undead and Yellow Brick Road. Just trash. Return of the Living Dead 3, which I recently just watched for the first time, and I love it. And we have Return of the Living Dead, Necropolis, Boy Eats World, and Dead and Gone. And this is all trash. I'm not even going to read all of it. You guys can screenshot it, pause it. All right, we have Kraken, Howling 4, Raging Sharks, which we've talked about, and Night Shadow. I have no idea why I have this in here. The Van Damme films. They're not horror films. Only recognizable one in this, I think, is... Oh, I'm sorry. This actually has... Yeah, this actually has Demonic Toys in it. And Prom Night. That's the only two I recognize. Y'all can read the rest of them if y'all want. I need to hurry up here. And then a Roger Corman double feature, The Terror Within and Dead Space. This has Netherworld in it as well. and Chupacabra versus the Alamo, I think it's called. Let me see. Yeah, Chupacabra versus the Alamo. It's got the guy from Chips in it. It's supposed to be one of the worst films of all time. I've never checked that one out. I probably do need to see that one at least. Next up, we have the Killjoy film. Speaking of ghetto horror, this definitely falls under that category. I think Killjoy, the first one, is definitely worth a watch. It's really, really funny. And then later on, they did I can't remember if Killjoy 3 is in Hell or if it's Killjoy 4. Killjoy in Hell was pretty decent. It might have been the fourth film. All right, next up we have a mixed bag of Hellraiser films and prophecy films. Kind of cool. I've owned that forever, way before I started even collecting. All right, put those up there. Six film collection: The Conjuring Universe, Annabelle Comes Home, The Nun, Annabelle, The Conjuring, The Conjuring 2, and the other Annabelle film, whatever the hell that's called. Next up, we have Dangerous Worry Dolls, Demonic Toys 2, and Doll Graveyard. I think those are all Charles Band films. Dreamcatcher, Dolores Claiborne, Cat's Eye, and Creepshow. Good shit right there. And then we have The Funhouse, Phantasm 2, The Serpent and the Rainbow, and the Snake film, S's. Mortuary and Prom Night. And let me see. I'm sure this is all trash. I'll let you guys read that if you want to. Next up, we have Cabin Fever 2, The Descent, and Descent 2. Cool 4-pack there. 6-film set of the Hellraiser movies. All right, gotta power through this, guys. Gotta power through this. Only got a little time left here. Skeleton Man and Vampire Wars. Those are two really bad movies to put together. It's kind of hilarious. I think Vampire Wars made me laugh too. Roger Corman Collection, Little Shop of Horrors, The Terror, Dementia 13, She Gods of Shark Reef, Swamp Women. We have a classic slasher collection here. Don't Look in the Basement, Scream Bloody Murder, Silent Night, Bloody Night, not to be confused with Silent Night, Deadly Night, The Hatchet Murders. Speaking of, oh no, that's not Power Tool. That's just Hand Tool Murders. And then The Severed Arm. Final Destination Collection, the first 4 films. Let me see if there's 2. I think the only good one on this was Trunk, which we've already talked about. Now, let me see. I'm going to try to remember here. This has got Pit and the Pendulum in it. And then a bunch of sucky movies. But I did really enjoy... I'm going to forget her name. Oh, the print is so small. Office Killer was really good. I really enjoyed Office Killer in this one. I can't remember the actress's name. Maybe I'll put her name right here. She was in, what's that film where the killer calls inside the house? He's upstairs and she answers the phone. He's like prank calling her, but he's actually upstairs in the bedroom. When a Stranger Calls. She's like the original actress from the first When a Stranger Calls films. And she's amazing in this film. I'm definitely going to put her name right here where you guys can see it. She deserves a shout out. All right, next up here we have, let me see if there's anything worthy. Puppet Master 3 for sure. And yeah, a bunch of trash. We got some creature feature stuff here. Blood Monkey, Man Eater, and the Spider's Web. Or in the Spider's Web. Yeah, we're getting close to the end, finally. All right, Horror Collection, 10 movies. Only thing that pops out is 976 Evil 2. Let you guys read that if you want. All right, Stephen King, 6-film collection at Pupil, Bag of Bones, Christine, Secret Window, Sleepwalkers, and Stand By Me. I think I'm missing a couple of discs in here, so unfortunately, it happens sometimes. All right, cool 4-pack here of shark films. Octopus, Sharktopus, Dino Shark, Jersey Shore Shark Attack, which I thought was hilarious, and Grocery Store Shark film here that was really good, Bait. All right, next up here we have a bunch of Piranha films. We'll let you guys read those. And a very cool collection. You can also find this on Blu-ray, Mega Shark 8-film collection. And this has all the Shark Attack films, which I recommend. It also has Toxic Shark, Shark in Venice, Malibu Shark Attack, and Sharkman, along with the 4 Shark Attack films. Really good shit. All right, now we have the 2 Wishmaster films, Pumpkinhead 2 and Leprechaun. And then we have Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Freddy's Dead, and Freddy vs. Jason. Sorry about the glare. Three movie collection, Paranormal Activity. Tales from the Crypt, the complete 4th season. Tales from the Crypt, 2nd season. Tales from the Crypt, 1st season. Then we have 8 movies here. Ghoulies 4 stands out to me. Looks like the Ginger Dead Man 2. And there's a Children of the Corn film in here as well. I don't know what part that is, though. Oh, Children of the Corn 5. All right, Pit and the Pendulum collection, it looks like. What is in this besides... this has got some decent stuff in it. Subspecies films in here, or it has one of the... Yeah, it has 2 Subspecies films, which are good. And I think that's it as far as the good films. Then we have Howling 1 and 2, Ghoulies 4 and Howling 4. And the last thing I'm going to show you guys is Tales from the Dark Side, the complete series. Grew up on this, huge fan of it. And yeah, man. So my parents grew up on Twilight Zone. I grew up on Tales from the Dark Side. There you have it, guys. That's my 2023 horror DVD collection. Not sure what collection I'm going to bring you guys next. Maybe Cyborgs, sci-fi collection. And that's it. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Hopefully you guys have learned something, and you know, about what I have and what my tastes are, and maybe you'll pick up some of these movies and enjoy them as I do enjoy them myself. I will talk to you guys later. I'll see you in the next video. The PWM is out. All right, guys, of course, a few movies that I forgot. This is the very recent pickup here. Megan Fox in Rogue. A little bit of lion horror there. By the way, I just picked this up at Walmart like 20 minutes ago. Next up here, a really cool Hood Rat film. I collect everything Ice-T. And, yeah, Isaiah Washington's in this as well. And Ice-T's like a slumlord in a project building. And it's got a lot of hood rats. I'm not talking about chicks. All right, and the last movie, quite possibly the greatest killer rat film of all time, Peter Weller in Of Unknown Origin. The terrifying last word in Home Invasion from the director of Tombstone and Cobra. Hell motherfreaking yeah. All right, guys, that's it. Peace out.